Alpha Geek video. Where are you?
You weren't late at all. What are you tripping?
I know.
On time. The money.
Geek Access. There I am.
Yeah, because I'm late getting on the call though. I'm not sure what we're talking about.
I'm losing my mind.
Seriously?
Ge-
We don't talk about
He's
what we're
got
talking about at
Va on
all
one and-
at any
Oh,
podcast episode.
Yeah,
At least
it's
for
all
this
good.
show. We just flow with it.
Oh, improv
Alright.
and going by the seat of our pants. I think I
Alright,
can
we're
manage.
live on Alpha Geek.
It's good.
All right, Alpha Geeks live. Close Facebook for any random beeps. That's muted.
Goodbye, Twitter. Me love you a long
Logging
time.
into the chat room. But people are dumb, so they use Twitch instead of that one, but that's okay. All right, let's get the soundboard up. Cool. All right. I think I hit record. Yeah, I hit record. JF, just talk so I can check your levels really quick.
Booyah.
Oh, yeah, you're good. All right. Corey, say something again.
Booyah. Is
All right.
that good?
Nah, you're a little quiet, but you sound like you were talking quiet. Yeah, you're good. I just got to turn myself up a little bit. I'm so excited. I talked my wife into okaying a Heil PR40, so I'll have that with my tax return. So excited. All right, cool. Going live. Let me put my headphones on. All right, going live in 3.
Wait.
Jesus Christ.
You sound really staticky for me. It
I
could
sound-
be me.
It's true. You should get a new mic.
I know. I sound clear on my headphones.
It sounds like
JF, do I sound staticky to you?
Not static anymore. Now you sound a bit muted.
Yeah, that's... How's that? Is that any better?
It's a bit better, yeah.
Yeah, it's because I use these as opposed to a thing, but...
opposed to a thing.
Whatever. I'll deal. I sound like I always do. I sound fine through my headphones, which means I sound fine to Audacity, so it could be a Skype thing going on.
Skype? No. Skype would never
Skype
do that
having
to us.
problems? Never.
It's just not real.
All right. Whose bumper should I use? Should I use Lizzie's bumper? I haven't used Lizzie's bumper in a while.
We've used it once.
We've only
I
used it
think.
once. Yeah. All right. Cool. Going live in 3, 2, 1. The Geek Access podcast is brought to you by Inked Geek Studios. Be sure to go to inkedgeekstudios.com for this and other great shows.
This is Lizzie, and you're listening to Kari, Brandon, and Dada on the Geek Access podcast.
Lisp is what nails that.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to episode 45 of the Geek Access podcast. I am Nate, and I am joined today by Mr. Corey. How you doing, sir?
Hey. Pretty good.
Good.
It's another week after how many weeks?
We had the holidays off, so we had
I know,
what
but
pre.
it just feels like so long.
I think we had one post Thanksgiving show.
And then Brandon's not
Yeah,
here.
I know. Brandon's not here. He's working.
Is
a
he
shift
sick?
today.
What's his thing?
He's covering a shift at work. He has no excuse to be here. Why should he get paid instead of doing something we're not getting paid for?
is
But
what
replacing Brandon, we have a wonderful special guest, Mr. JF Dubo. How are you?
We're not getting paid for this. I might have to bow out, Nath.
All right, see you later.
All right, take care, man. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Tired.
Cool, awesome.
Arm hurts.
Oh, that sucks. Anyone who's listened to Mind of a Geek so far will recognize JF from episode 1 of that, or if you've listened to our special spoiler cast of episode 7, you'll recognize him from that, or anything else he does around the interwebs. I don't know. I have to remind him to pitch certain things, otherwise certain co-hosts get mad at him. So, but we'll get.
Do you believe I work in marketing? I cannot like the one product I can't sell is myself.
Oh, that's terrible.
If I had to sell you, I'd have a hard time too.
Yeah, I get that a lot.
In what circumstance?
Pimping,
Oh,
prostitution mostly.
Is there a large market for older Canadians?
Oh, they're called bears
Is that
or
a-
moose.
Is that a kilf? A
Ooh.
Canadian I'd like to fuck?
I like the moose.
So it has been a little while. So happy New Year to all of our listeners.
Goodness.
Hope your holidays went well. It's 2016. It's hard to believe.
Whoa.
I know. I know.
It's like
Where's my flying car?
last year, a few days ago.
I know.
It's
I
insane.
haven't talked to you guys in a year. It's crazy. So
God.
Corey, what have you been up to, man? We've been playing a lot of Ark, but aside from that, I mean, you've got
Goodness.
stuff on your plate.
I've done a lot. I did a lot of driving, did a lot of traveling for the holidays, that's for sure. Went from where I'm at 2 hours to Roseville and then drove through the mountains up to Reno and back. That's a whole bunch of fun. Went snowboarding with the family. Had a good old time. Came back. What did I do? Black Friday. We didn't even talk about that. I bought this laptop. Pretty
Nice.
sweet. Yep. I love it. Take it everywhere. What else is new?
So you can play
I got a
real
new
computer
hat.
games now.
That's-
I saw that the
Yeah.
Zelda hat.
It's pretty sweet. Look, it's all detailed on the front of it too.
Oh, that's nice.
neat.
I like that.
Good job, roommate. Way to go. You also got me the System of a Down shirt, even though you hate the band, so you can go fuck yourself.
I don't hate them. I just think they're a
Yes,
little
you do.
overrated.
You said it. You
I
said you
never
hate
said
it,
the
and I
word
will remember
hate.
that.
Hate is a strong word. And
I like to
besides,
think
you guys pick on me for Avenged Sevenfold all the time, so leave me alone.
the System of a Down is an acquired taste.
I agree. His voice is very distinct.
Yeah,
It
I
is.
know
Both of their
very few.
voices.
I know very few people that listen to them the first time and go, "Oh yeah, I'm down with this." It's usually something that's passed on from a friend that will force you to listen to it for a period of time until you get sort of used to it.
You know what initially got me into this band was how much my parents hated them. My father resented this band for no reason, really. He heard one song. I think it was like Chop Suey or something. And he just hated it. So I bought the CD behind his back, put it in the car for a long road trip, and he started listening to it. It's like, you know what? This isn't that bad, actually. I'm like, oh, really? Because this is System of a Down. It's like, oh, no.
You've tricked me. Yeah, it's the Metallica marketing method.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Speaking of music, since the last time we were on air, we have lost the lead singer of Motorhead,
Oh,
which was a very sad day. He was 70 years old, passed away December 28th. Same day, different year as Jimmy the Rev from Avenged Sevenfold, December 28th. 6 years to the day. So it's not a good day for rock, whether they be up and comers or legends. But yeah, there was a lot of bands doing tributes. Since then, staying on the topic of music, Motley Crue has done their last show, December 31st.
I saw that.
They closed it out, did their final show ever.
Well, good for them. They've been freaking touring for how long now?
Their 35-year anniversary is this June.
Yeah, good.
so-
Give it a break.
But they're all going to continue touring. Nikki Sixx is going to be touring with 6 a.m. Vince Neil has a solo project that he's starting up next month. But as far as Motley Crue is... Six is still great. Six is still fun on stage. I mean, I hope for the listeners' sake that Vince isn't singing in his solo project because he can't sing anymore. His vocals are so bad live now. It's pathetic. But we've seen them
All right.
5
It's
or
just
6
like Paul's.
times. and-
Paul McCartney's. His are crap too.
Yeah, I mean they're all kind of. I mean Kiss, they're all kind of falling in the same. And then it's crazy because then you got bands like Judas Priest and Metallica. I mean Metallica's sound has changed, but their quality is still there. And Iron Maiden's newest album just came out.
And that was amazing.
It's just as yeah. I mean it was a lot better than the last one they released before that. And they're on tour.
No, I was impressed. It was like, holy crap! Iron
I
Maiden
really
coming
enjoyed
out of
it.
the blue.
Getting back to those like 19-minute songs.
Right?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
man.
really enjoyed it. But indeed, JF, you're awfully quiet over there, man. I invited you on here because you're Mr. I guarantee the episode will be 2 hours long.
This is what I've been told too.
It's all
Well,
you now. We're muting our
okay,
mics.
I
Carry
have
the show.
I have extremely narrow focuses of interest, like that. I dig deep but not wide. And while music is one of these things, like I listen to a lot of music and an extremely varied palette of music. I'll listen to just about anything, and but I don't understand music. Like Nathan has like 2 guitars and a bunch of music garbage behind him and clearly understands what he's talking about, and I don't understand how music works. It's magic to me.
Okay.
I
That's
equate
an
it to
interesting
sorcery.
term. Magic.
I like what music does to me. It makes me feel things and gives me ideas, and I love listening to it. And I literally cannot. Like I have this anecdote. I was in a hospital for a while, and I didn't have my glasses. I couldn't do shit for. We can swear, right?
Oh, totally.
Sweet. So, anyways, no, I was in the hospital for a while, and like I spent a couple of days without my glasses. I'm nearly blind without contacts or whatever, and like being really depressed. And my dad brought me like a CD player that was back in the time of CDs, and I literally cried my eyes out because I was listening to music for the first time in like weeks, a week. So I have a very, very intimate relationship with music. It fuels me on the creative side, but I don't understand it. And I don't
like
keep
the process
up with,
of music.
yeah.
So what
That-
Or just
what
the
you're saying
theory
is
itself?
what you're saying is music to you is like women. You're very intimate with them, but you don't understand them.
Yeah, no, I mean, look, I can push the right buttons to have the proper sounds come out of them.
Like women.
But you have no idea how they
as,
work.
as to the process as to why this is happening, it's a complete mystery to me.
Fair enough.
All women.
Exactly, it's a very keen analogy there, Nate.
Hey,
So no,
you know,
it's so
I
I hear
swing
you
and
guys
miss-
talk about like bands improving and not improving, and I'm still listening to Metallica from like the Black Album and Masters of Puppets. So it's like, oh, they've changed things. Yay!
Yeah.
Yeah, they've gone downhill quite a bit. They're slowly climbing back up of it. Up
Death
it.
Pragnetic. Yeah.
Hey, Death Magnetic wasn't that bad. When you compare it to
See,
Saint
this is
Anger,
where this is for you. This is where the wall hits, and then you're just like, yeah.
but when
Yeah.
Look,
Yeah.
the thing is, I have no problem listening to people talk about things like that because this is where I get ideas. Like I listen to you guys talk and say, oh no, this album sucked and this album was good. And I'm taking mental notes like, oh man, I need to catch up on Metallica. And I'm like, oh, maybe I'll listen to this album. And apparently this one sucks, so I won't. So as you guys are talking,
Forever
I'm
observing.
being boring and silent, but I'm taking notes.
he's the sponge. So essentially, you're doing exactly what you'd be doing if you were listening, and we could have had somebody else on the show.
Well, if this is going to be a Lemmy tribute episode, I can promise very little.
No, it's
As
not.
far
I
as
just
content,
wanted to
it's
bring it
definitely
because
not that.
he's
worry.
he was just very iconic in a lot of the bands that we listen to. Attribute, where they are to him and their style and their influence. So
Well,
it was
the
a
thing
big
that
deal.
was interesting about Lemmy passing away is that until about maybe a week ago, I did not know who Lemmy was much. Like his image, and I knew who Motorhead was, and like his photo, of course, kind of almost iconic in how cliche it is.
Mm-hmm.
But so many people that I did not know were into Motorhead were like, "Oh man, Lemmy passed away." Like being affected by it made me go from a guy who didn't really care about Motorhead to a guy who's actually going to sample a couple of things.
Yeah, they're not
So
bad.
look at it this way: you're getting the perspective from the ignorant masses.
Right, fair enough. Yeah, see, I wouldn't call myself a Motorhead fan. There are some of their songs I like, but I have to, for my own opinion, I have to enjoy over 50% of your catalog to consider myself a fan. The only reason I found out was because Triple H, the wrestler, had retweeted that Lemmy passed away because Triple H was a huge Motorhead fan. Motorhead recorded his intro music, so that was a big deal for them and whatnot. And that's how I had found out. But I have, for a long time, I had my whole Ace of Spades moniker thing, and I've got the Ace of Spades card tattooed on me, and so obviously the Motorhead song Ace of Spades, there's that's the only one that comes to mind. There are other ones that if I heard them, I'd be like, oh yeah, it's Motorhead, but I don't really know. I couldn't rattle them off like I could, for example, like an Avenged Sevenfold library. I could just rattle off names of songs, things like that. But no, again, he was just very influential in the hard rock and the metal scene. And I mean, the guys, they've been around forever. So
Yeah.
but that's basically what that kind of came down to. So yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
Grim start to talking about the past
we're
years.
celebrating. Well, we lost a lot.
Celebrate life.
We lost a lot. We lost Rowdy Roddy Piper. We lost. Saruman.
Oh, Christopher Lee.
Christopher Lee. We lost Christopher Lee.
Damn.
We
But
lost
I mean,
a
we
lot.
were talking about heavy metal. I mean, Christopher Lee.
Right, exactly. There's another musician who, up and however old he was, he had just released a metal album a couple of years ago.
Yeah, Charlemagne.
So
Christopher Lee. Look, I'm sad he passed away, but he lived maybe 7 lives.
he did, and 7 of the greatest lives possible.
7 like you take one aspect of one of the careers that he's led, and he's led many, and he's a superstar in any of them. I think he was just hoarding all the awesome. Now that he's passed away, maybe that can get redistributed amongst the rest of the people.
It's certainly spreading around. But on a
Probably
positive
about
note,
time.
so since our last show, and we won't turn this into the whole topic, but episode 7 is released.
Are we going to
since
talk
our
about
last
Star
show.
Wars?
Dude, I had Garrett on Mind of a Geek, Garrett Weinzerl on Mind of a Geek on Monday, and it started off a little slow in the sense that we were talking about different things in podcasting. And then once we got into Star Wars, the next hour and 10 minutes, it was part 2 of the spoiler cast for Star Wars. There was no...
Did you watch the video? Did you watch it? I sent it to you this morning.
Which
I know
one?
You didn't. I know you saw it. The Jar Jar Binks
I
fan theory.
I
the
saw
dark
it,
theory.
but I've
It's so good.
I've
It's
read
such
the
a
write-up.
good theory that it makes you think about it, and you're just like, Jar Jar Binks could have been this whole other thing.
I don't watch videos that often. Like
I don't watch videos.
No, I don't.
That
Like,
often. That sounds ridiculous.
I'm a big fan of cracked.com, and it really bums me out when I click on an article that seems interesting, but it's a video and not an article. I'd rather read the article.
I don't mind the videos from Crack because they're usually very short. I like the Jack O'Brien ones because they have a certain cadence to them that makes me laugh.
Fair enough. I like David Wong because I'm a big fan of his books.
Love David Wong. Love John Cheese. Dan O'Brien's cool because he talks about presidents, and I get to learn a lot about presidents because I don't know much about your political structure and history.
Which are the two that think they're rappers every once in a while on the videos?
Michael Swaim for sure. And
Who's the
some
chubby
other
nerdy
dude.
looking one with the glasses? Is that Dan O'Brien?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. They have rap battles every now and then.
Oh boy.
The-
Rap
they-
battles
that's-
between
that's
Dan
needed.
O'Brien and
They,
Michael Swaim.
they had a
I will
Jurassic
look that up.
They had a
'cause-
Jurassic Park one. You should look it up.
Oh, I think I saw a Jurassic Park one.
Yeah.
And I think Swaim won that one. Wow, we're
Probably.
really nerding out about a site that nerds out about
About
other
two
things.
pasty white guys doing rap battles about Jurassic Park.
Man,
my
this
God.
is new age stuff.
This is an infomercial for Cracker Barrel.
Crackle Barrel.
Sure.
But anyway, whatever. So how was your New Year's celebration, JF?
It was foodtastic. One of the things that you need to understand about my family is that my mother, and I know everybody says that, but my mother is an amazing cook, but she's not an amazing cook in the sense that, I cook these traditional meals from that were passed on from my family. She's an amazing cook in the sense that she has been offered a job in a 5-star restaurant and turned it down because she knows the schedules in restaurants are insane. So, and she doesn't cook just I'll make a turkey and it's the best turkey in the world, or I'll make this pasta sauce and it's the family pasta sauce. She makes these fancy weird ass super complicated meals, and the holidays I spent the entire holidays with my parents because they have this place away from the city. Complicated story, but anyways, the fact is I've been eating nonstop for 2 weeks. I'm so fat, guys.
It sounds nice though. I wish I could live in a 5-star restaurant every day.
It's amazing, but I've seriously been considering bulimia.
Oh, well, I mean,
maybe
it's a
I
quicker
can
route,
go-
honestly.
Maybe I should purge.
That's
a
how
little.
that's how it was when I lived with my mom. It was good food, and it was food that was horrible for you, and it was just lots of it, and there was always extra, and especially during the holidays, and it was impossible to be a thin kid living at my parents' house.
Oh no, I mean that's the thing. I moved out of my parents' and I was fat, lost a bunch of weight. Now I'm here for a couple of weeks and I feel like I'm gaining it all back. And you got to remember, this is French cuisine. This is not Southern French cuisine. It's not Mediterranean cuisine. We're talking about cream and butter in everything.
Right, a lot of
What's
a lot
wrong
of
with
deep
that?
fried stuff.
No, not much deep fried stuff, but
Just lots of butter.
yeah, sauces and this is cake. Oh, it's cognac cake. Of course, I'll have half of it.
That's how I am.
It comes with ice cream, homemade ice cream. Sure,
You give me
toss it in.
you give me a
Yes.
key lime pie, I'll devour the whole thing. Give me a tiramisu, I'll devour the whole thing. I am. I have no self control. I'm that guy that will. I'm being told to ask you about poutine.
What do you want to know about poutine?
Everything.
Everything okay. Well,
Oh, so
poutine
just to fill you in really quick. So I have a side guest with me. He's
Go
not
ahead.
on the show, but he's a friend of mine, and he's sitting next to me. We've got the splitter in the headset, so he's listening to the whole show. So he might tap me and have me interject something.
He's basically your live chat room.
He's
Got it.
my live chat room. Yeah,
He's your Twitch away from Twitch.
right.
Aw.
Exactly.
So that you don't feel lonely without Twitch.
Right.
No, poutine's awesome. It was probably invented to keep us fat during winter, and the fact that we still consume it to this day is almost unsettling. It's freaking delicious, and we have like specialty restaurants that will make a variety of different types of poutines. So
I'm
It's
confused on what
awesome.
poutine is.
Oh, poutine. Okay, it sounds terrible, but it's the best. It's basically fries, and you put cheese curds, or sometimes other types of cheese, and then gravy. I just knocked out my microphone for
It was
effect.
too exciting to talk about.
It was man, talking about poutine. But the thing is, this is like your basic poutine recipe, and then you have something called galvaude where we add chicken and some peas for some reason. Then there's Italian poutine, which is actually just fries with some sort of pasta sauce and just covered with mozzarella. It's basically poutine is the various insane ways that we interpret fries here.
That's fantastic. I wish we had that here, but I don't know why we don't.
And
Makes sense.
thank you everyone for listening to this week's episode of the French Cuisine.
Oh, dude, I don't want this. That's French Canadian cuisine.
We were talking about
and-
music, and he was quiet. We bring up fatty foods, and he's just here's the 2-hour show, everybody.
Do you want me to talk about maple syrup next? Because I can
Yes.
go into that.
Actually, you know what?
What
No,
about Canadian bacon
let's-
prior to actual bacon?
Well, look, honestly, I don't know why people make such a big deal. It's not that much of a
Round
difference.
to
Pigs are
round to
pigs.
strips.
The what you guys call Canadian bacon, we actually call back bacon, because what we consume as bacon normally is very much the same strips of bacon that you guys have. It's not like if you go to a restaurant here and you say I'd like some bacon, they don't bring you round strips of bacon. They bring you the same things.
Well, that's nice.
So yeah,
Like-
but I have a question about maple syrup because you brought that up, and I remember in the Tadpool somebody had posted something about, hey, I can have breakfast now, blah 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 blah. I have never bothered with maple syrup because I'm not going to spend $18 for a jar of maple syrup, so I just do pancake syrup, and I've been told by maple syrup lovers that is like blasphemy, and that is like the difference between butter and margarine.
Oh God,
Essentially.
and that is a big difference
Right.
with those. Though.
So is there anything that makes it worth that money? Or because I'm in Maine, and Maine has a big maple syrup thing too, but why is it so much more expensive? Like you guys use it as currency up there, and I understand that, but
Oh yeah. We all walk around with jugs
right.
and we trade maple syrup. It's how we do.
That's your
I like the comparison of saying that maple syrup is pretty much the butter to pancake syrup's margarine. It's accurate. I don't know if it's worth the difference in money, but yeah, maple syrup definitely does taste better, and it feels like it tastes a little less sweet and it's a little less filling, but it's got like because pancake syrup just tastes like sugar liquid, like it's
Right.
sugar based. Maple syrup has its own flavor.
Okay, so it probably does fill in or fall into that where like again butter, margarine, or sugar, high fructose corn syrup. It's basically
Right.
the natural option versus the fake option.
Right, but it's not just like a nutritional thing. It's
Yeah, they're
not,
both horrible for you.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's still terrible for you. It's still basically in a way it is refined sugar. It's just
Right.
instead of coming from cane sugar or from corn, it comes from maple sap.
Right.
But it's got a certain flavor to it that makes it. I wouldn't say better because I mean, if you don't like the taste of maple, you're not going to like maple syrup. But if you do, it does make it taste.
Right. Well, see, for the longest time, and this goes back to growing up in my mom's house with food being horrible for you. I never liked butter. I thought butter was very bland. I didn't like the taste of it. I thought it was a pain in the ass to slice out of the fridge because it was always so stiff because it's butter. I always preferred margarine. I swore by margarine when I was a kid because it was softer. I thought there was more flavor to it. But now that I've switched to butter, and it's been years, I can't eat margarine. Margarine tastes fucking disgusting compared to butter. But I was never
finally learned.
I was never a butter fan. It was always margarine. And then, when you first move out of your parents' house and you're trying to get by on your own, margarine's significantly cheaper than butter.
Oh, is this? Oh, I'm told that this is the weirdest topic I've ever brought up in a podcast.
I'm being told that my live chat room used to eat butter by the spoonful.
Oh,
Wow, that sounds super healthy. It's don't take this the wrong way, but that sounds super American.
No, it totally does.
I'm offended.
Well, all right.
I honestly could give no crap.
You look like the
he said
thinnest guy
he's
of us
actually
between the
basically
three of us.
he's basically where are you from? Presque Isle, right? Yeah, he's from Presque Isle. So he's basically Canadian.
Well, yeah, definitely. So that doesn't count.
But yeah, so no, yeah. So far we've covered Old Rock, we've covered food, we've covered the difference between butter and margarine and maple syrup and pancake syrup. Let's just
right. And we're supposed to be talking about what we did over the holidays.
But yeah, we ate though. See, we listened to music.
Definitely.
We ate shitty food, or shitty in that it's bad for you food.
Yeah. Fattening.
So yeah,
wrote
so
a
far we're
bunch.
covering it. How many times have we all seen Star Wars?
Twice.
Once. I'm gonna go see
Twice.
it again. I think tomorrow.
Nice. I don't want to have spoilers in it. Just so I don't want to exile anyone who might have not have seen it yet. So we won't get to do into it. If you want to hear what most of us have to say about Star Wars,
Luke marries an Ewok.
Oh,
yeah,
speaking
and
of Star Wars,
Jar
real
Jar's
quick.
the Sith Lord.
Watch this. Hold on.
I love how he still has the YouTube flag hanging from the wall. We got that at BlizzCon in 2014.
Ready?
Oh
Okay.
wow.
Underwear.
Nice.
But wait. There's a cape on it.
Oh, I was beginning to think it was gonna be a back door to your ass. I didn't realize it was a cape.
I don't
Could
know
be
how
a
I
back
feel.
door, you don't know.
I don't know how I feel about underwear with a cape.
We're gonna have Vine.
Hey, it wasn't. I didn't buy it. It
we're
was
gonna
given to me as a
have
gift.
Vine videos now.
Does
of
it come
Corey
with a
running
little
around.
helmet?
No. That would have been. That would have been. A
There
nice
you go.
touch,
See,
though.
now you need Darth Vader condoms, and you can call yourself Dark Helmet.
Dark helmet.
Or just a red glow in the dark condom.
Oh yeah, there you go. The lightsaber condom. Speaking of Dark Helmet, did you guys both hear that Spaceballs 2 got greenlit? Getting a Spaceballs 2. It's going to be called, what is it? The Search for More Money or the Quest for More Money, which was what they teased in the original Spaceballs.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
I'm ambivalent. I love the idea of having another Spaceballs because the first one was great.
It was. Good.
I feel like they should wait until all three of the new movies are out.
I don't think
Because
Mel Brooks is going to be
this-
alive by the time the third one comes out. I mean, his son could
but
do it,
they're-
but his son
the
doesn't.
pro- the-
Oh, go
yeah,
ahead.
Max could probably.
But his son doesn't have
do
the
it, I
comical genius. Like his son's great with zombie books, but
guess. He's found his niche.
he doesn't seem to have the comedy niche that that Mel does.
My question is, Mel Brooks type comedy today, does that fly? Does that sell?
Well, I don't know. I mean,
Not as well as it
yeah,
would.
it's. I think I mean, if he goes the George Carlin route, and what I mean by that is George
That's dark. Nath.
George Carlin always
Why?
like once he made that transition from entertaining the yuppies to entertaining the everyman, he was always very brash. But as he got older, like when you start getting into the A Life Worth Losing and It's Bad For You, his last two albums, he was very much dirty old man. And as society became more accepting of different languages or different word usage, stuff like that, he continued to raise the bar and push that line. And Mel Brooks did that back in his day with the producers, with Blazing Saddles and everything else. I believe he could, if he tries to make it in the same vein that he made it when Spaceballs 1 came out, I don't know how well it would work. If he continued his style of pushing the line and he was observant to where that line is today and he went to push that, I think that could be entertaining. But the only problem is then if you end up going with a rated R comedy, and that exiles the viewership of some younger children.
I think the solution to this is basically what Mel Brooks needs to do is make kind of a meta parody of what's happening with Star Wars. He needs to pass the legacy of Spaceballs to a new director.
Right.
I'm not saying like just not do Spaceballs 2, but it would be interesting to have him work with one of the more popular upcoming comedy directors of our time. The same way that it's being passed on to younger directors for Star Wars.
Do
Well,
we
who would
have
that be?
do we have comedy directors that are up and coming? I mean, most of them. I mean, you have your Judd Apatow. I mean, most of them are established. I mean, you know, if we did this 5 years ago, I would say Paul Feig was up and coming, but now he's got his own style established as well.
Okay, well, not
I do
necessarily
not
up and
want
coming
Melissa
as
McCarthy in
nobody, because
Spaceballs.
J.J. Abrams was definitely not a nobody when he got handed Star Wars.
Well,
but
yeah.
maybe going to a Judd Apatow, please, no, don't send it to an Adam Sandler.
I think Adam Sandler could do Spaceballs well.
No, Adam Sandler can barely do an Adam Sandler movie.
He has to be with a lot of people to make his movies funny.
He does.
A lot
Adam
of
Sandler is very hit or miss because you can give him the perfect formula and he could make two movies with that formula, and one will knock it out of the park and one will be complete bullshit.
Yeah,
Like the drama comedies.
Well, not even
Comedies.
that. Like, okay, here's what comes to mind for that example. Look at Grown Ups, okay? And then look at Hotel Transylvania. It is essentially the same exact cast, aside from Andy Samberg and Selena Gomez, who are both great
Didn't
in that
watch
movie.
Hotel Transylvania.
Hotel Transylvania was great. But it's essentially the same cast. It's kid-friendly comedy for the most part. Grown Ups was kind of kid-friendly comedy. And Hotel Transylvania was knocked out of the park. He was funny in it. Kevin James was funny in it. David Spade was funny in it. Everybody was really funny in it. And Hotel Transylvania 2 is just as entertaining. You take essentially that same cast and put him in Grown Ups, and it was a complete pile of garbage.
I have a theory about that, though.
What's that?
People said they liked Grown Ups. I didn't watch it, but a few of my friends liked it.
It was better than what he had done, but it's still, I mean, he'll never be as good as Happy Gilmore and Billy Madison, but...
Well, those are.
But I also
That's
know
a
people
whole
who
different
don't
era,
like...
dude.
I know people who don't like Waterboy, and I have to kind of wonder what's wrong with them.
Waterboy is up and downs. Like there's some good parts and some parts are way too Adam Sandler. But I have
Yeah.
a feeling that the problem with Adam Sandler movies in general is when he's playing Adam Sandler goofing around instead of playing a character, those are when the movies really fail. So
Right.
Hotel Transylvania, he was playing a character. Like, sure, the character was modeled to look a bit like him, but the character was not just Adam Sandler doing a bit.
Right.
Grown Ups is just Adam Sandler doing a bit, and that's boring. His bits are not good. He is not entertaining when he's doing that. But when he's doing a character and writing, like participating in creating like a comedic atmosphere, that's when he's at his best. So
Nice.
maybe that actually changes my mind for Spaceballs, because Spaceballs wouldn't just be Adam Sandler's in space.
Yeah, as long as he's not taking a main like role in it, then that's kind of okay.
Right.
If he's just directing.
Hey, it was,
Okay, so hold on.
It's just
I've
my commentary on Spaceballs.
I've been given a message by my live chat room. It says JF should be all for Spaceballs too because it's true to his he says CanCon. I assume he means Canadian roots. The return of Rick Moranis.
I don't think Rick Moranis would come back.
I
for,
think he would.
for that, which is unfortunate because Rick Moranis is just an amazing comedic actor.
Can you have
but
Spaceballs 2 without Dark Helmet? I don't think you can. And he also says,
we're having Star Wars without Darth Vader.
yeah, I mean, Kylo's essentially Anakin Skywalker. And then he also says the Grown Ups cast should have just been promoted with a cast stand-up tour. Shouldn't have been a movie. It should have been a stand-up comedy tour.
Maybe.
That would've
Maybe.
been- Did you guys hear Sandler's new 2015 version of the Hanukkah song?
No.
It was pretty funny. And one of the lines on it, he says, Jared Fogle, God damn it, a Jew. But no, I like it. And I've always loved his music. He doesn't do that a lot anymore. But, you know, Piece of Shit Car was great. The Hanukkah song, the Turkey Day song. Like, he was always funny there. But I just think he grew up.
Lunch Ladyland. Oh man.
Yep, Lunch Ladyland. He grew up, but he doesn't want to grow up. And when you see movies where he does act like a mature adult, like Punch Drunk Love was a great movie. I really enjoyed Click. I thought Click was really
I
well
like
done.
Click. Yeah, no,
And
Click
it
wasn't
sent
bad.
it sent a great message. The whole, you know, if you fast forward through all the boring parts of your life, before you know it, your life is over.
Yeah.
You know, you have to appreciate those moments because that's what makes life up. or that's what life is made out of. Is that what I'm trying to say? Yeah.
The bulk of your life is not going to be like, it's not going to be a roller coaster ride. So.
No, your life isn't a TV show. And that's, kind of to transition to another topic, that's a lot of what society's problem is today is, we follow people online. Even some of us in the Tadpool are kind of a little guilty of it with like Scott and Brian. And, we see the highlights of their lives on Instagram and, over the podcast and stuff like that. And, people are like, oh, I want to be like that. I want to be a podcaster. I want to do this. I want to do that. We see that with television shows, and all we're seeing is snippets. We're not seeing the hard work. We're not seeing the pounding the head on the desk, and people don't.
There's that, and there's also the difference. Like, we're not necessarily seeing, we're seeing the on-camera persona too. And I mean, as genuine as someone can be, there's always going to be a line drawn between private person and public person, and there should be. It's kind of a healthy thing to do in a way. So yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
I actually said that. My buddy who's next to me here, Brandon, I said that to him. I was trolling somebody on Facebook because I do that and it's fun.
No,
I know, the raging atheist. And I told him, I was like, it's really funny when people can't tell the difference between the internet me and me. Like, I try and be as honest as, as true to who I am, like when I'm doing the show. And if I do, end up spewing out bullshit, Corey and Brandon have known me long enough to where they'll call me on it.
Oh yeah.
But I will, I mean, hell, my job title should be devil's advocate, because it's what I do. If there's somebody that I just want to I'm bored and I see somebody post something, like, I will argue the counterpoint just because.
It's like, no, pedophilia is okay. It just depends on the context.
No,
it's
okay.
all about context.
Wow, you just took this into a totally dark. No, but so like I will sit and argue for Trump for a half hour on somebody's Facebook page, and then I will turn around on somebody else's Facebook post and argue against Trump for another half hour. Like, it's what I do. It's fun.
You need a hobby.
What I do.
That is my hobby. Devil's advocate is my hobby. Devil's advocate is my hobby. But no, and I don't do it. I like to get people thinking, and I find it entertaining when people try and debate their point, but they can't debate their point, and like, it's the whole just because thing.
Well, there's a comedian. He's not even that good a comedian. He's not bad, but he's not like super well known. But I don't know if you've ever heard of Jimmy Dore. He has a saying that people can't be argued out of opinions that they weren't argued into. I find there's a lot of truth to that. And you see that a lot on the internet on either side of the aisle, whether you're looking about, liberal thinkers or conservative thinkers. They'll have opinions. They'll say, this is how it is. This is how it should be. And you ask why, and they can't answer, just like you were saying. And it's because they didn't think their way into the opinion. They were told the opinion and accepted it because it sounded good. Maybe it rhymed when they were told. Some dumb bullshit like that. Or there was a neat meme. So
a neat
meme.
Yeah, no, I feel you.
I know so many people that build their opinions completely, like their entire persona is just memes because it sounded clever at the time. But that's the thing, like they can't argue the point because the point was never argued to them.
It's an interesting theory. I mean, it makes a lot of sense. It shows how dumb America is with a lot of things.
I think it's just how dumb everybody. I think it's a lot of things. I mean, even going into that, you look at the persona that a lot of other people around the world feel about Americans, and even that is, they think that way about Americans because somebody else told them that's how Americans were. They didn't really construct those opinions of themselves.
But generally speaking, like I do a bit of the devil's advocate too. Like I was making fun of America earlier about like the eating butter thing, but one of the things I have as a Canadian, I have a lot of friends who will see a certain particular behavior and they'll say, "Oh, dumb Americans," and I'll say, "Hey, whoa, calm down." America is like 50 different states, and if you were to tell someone from one state that he's exactly culturally the same as from another state, you'd probably get into a fight. I mean, you can't tell someone from, say, Maine, "Oh, you think exactly like people from Texas because you Americans are all the same." That is a dumb thing to say.
It is
because there's probably differences. Same between Texas and Florida, California. I mean, America's huge.
It's like assuming that all Canadians live in igloos. And
There's,
listen,
I mean, it's a lot of us,
and-
admittedly, maybe 90%, but some of us have bungalows and houses and RVs.
and all you guys listen to is Celine Dion and Justin Bieber and Nickelback.
No, that's why we sent them your way, so we don't have
That's
to listen.
wise.
There's an entire layer of Canadian entertainment that you guys don't even know about. It is so good, you guys.
Yeah, but we get some of them. I mean, like, Bieber and Celine can kind of go away. I am, that's one of my vices is that I'm a Nickelback fan. I have been for a long time. I was also a big 3 Days Grace fan before they got rid of Adam Gontier, which is also a Canadian band. A couple of my favorite wrestlers are from Canada. Adam Copeland, who was Edge, was from Canada. I believe he was from Winnipeg. Bret the Hitman Hart was Canadian. So there's, you guys have given a lot to American entertainment, regardless of it being music or fake sports.
Or actors. We send you guys
Fake
so many
sports?
actors.
You not like hockey?
I was talking about wrestling.
Oh, okay.
And when was and okay,
I love how
no,
it's not a
no,
fake
Court
sport.
now,
went straight
I am
for
a
hockey
I
there.
am a Bruins fan because I'm from Maine and that's our home team. When was speaking? Okay, so I get it. Hockey, Canada, yeah. Every kid, they're born with a hockey stick in their hand. I get it. But when was
Basically.
the last time a Canadian team won the Stanley Cup?
Oh, who knows?
Can you really classify it as a Canadian sport anymore?
There's like, 5 Canadian teams left. Canadians don't care about hockey as much as we let on.
No.
I mean, obviously there's a lot of diehard fans, and I mean, the
Well, yeah, 'cause
Bells
it's all
and Bird
ice
here in
up there.
Montreal. Sorry?
It's all ice up there. They're like, oh, what's that soccer stuff that Europe's playing? We should try that. Wait, we're slipping around all over the place. Let's put skates on.
Kind of, but the thing is, like, there's definitely a lot of people that love hockey, but it's not like 100% of Canada that follows hockey. I don't follow hockey at all, especially when there's other sports that look so much more badass. Like a few years ago, I was introduced to crushed ice. I don't know if you guys know
Oh
what
my
that is.
goodness, crushed
Like,
ice is
why
amazing.
would you bother? Why bother watching hockey when there's crushed ice?
It's
Crushed
so awesome. Those
It's the
races are
best.
awesome.
I've never heard of crushed ice.
Oh my goodness,
dude, okay.
Nathan. Look that
What's
shit
the
up.
best part of hockey? It's
The fights.
people just falling the fuck off their faces and getting messed up, right? I mean,
Sure.
pucks, who cares?
It's like the best part of NASCAR is the crashes.
Yeah.
yes. Now imagine if you took hockey, but instead of being in a rink, it's a long racetrack of just ice with ups and downs and stuff. And then you put a bunch of guys dressed in hockey like protection on skates, and they're racing like maniacs. Falling,
So
and
is it-
slipping, and bumping into each other. It is amazing.
So is it kind of like roller derby, but on ice with skates?
Yeah, but on a
Yes.
full track. It's awesome. Like
Exactly.
not just a circle ring. You're on like an actual track. It's all downhill. There's jumps. There's
Oh, interesting. I'll have to check
It's
this out.
awesome.
Oh, go on YouTube, look for some crashed ice stuff. It's of course sponsored by Red Bull.
Crashed ice or crushed ice?
Crashed
Crashed.
ice.
Crashed ice. Okay.
And it bears its name beautifully. And it's seriously like, you don't have to keep track of score. You don't have to keep track of a puck. All you need to do is keep track of the general color of the jersey of the dude that you're watching. Or if you're like me, you don't care about any of these guys. You just want to see the insane action.
And what
of
is
them
it?
racing.
Whoever makes it down to the bottom of the hill first in one piece?
Look, this is the Hunger Games for me. I'm just looking for a survivor.
It's just the guy who makes it. That's all.
Exactly. It's like if the Hunger Games was made by Canadians and not for pussies.
Fair enough. All I can picture now is I'm picturing like a Mario Kart thing where they pick up power ups and somebody throws like a jug of
There
maple
might as
syrup.
well
at-
be power-ups in
He
that
throws the
track.
jug of maple syrup at one of the guys. The other one gets a power up and it's like a flannel shirt and a logging utility thing, and he starts chucking logs at people and all the Canadian stereotypes.
I'd love that. That would be the best. I want to see that so much.
All right, someone's gonna make an indie PC game. That's Mario Kart with crashed ice.
Oh, I'm sure that's already being made.
No, that's
It's been
cool.
a few
So-
years. It's been out for a while.
So is there like a
actually.
league? Is this like a televised thing?
It's
or
a
is it-
yearly thing, yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I'll have to check it out. That sounds.
You'll
wild.
watch this, and then here's what you do: you watch some crashed ice, then you watch a hockey match, and you wake up because you fell asleep through the hockey
See,
match.
I don't
because
watch-
It's so comparatively boring.
I don't really watch sports. Like I'll watch football now and then. I'll have it on in the background. If the Patriots are in the playoffs and or the Super Bowl, I'll certainly watch those. But I don't. I use my app to see what the score of the game is. So, but I don't have time to sit and watch other people do things that are fun when I could be doing things that are fun.
Oh man, dude, that's been my argument. Like a lot of people like at the office would say, "Oh, do you watch hockey?" I said, I'd rather do a thing than watch a thing.
Right. Fair
Which
enough.
is kind of why I'm here instead of listening to podcasts.
Right. Fair enough. Fair
That's
enough.
what you're doing.
Speaking of doing things, you posted on Facebook yesterday, or the day before, that you've been meeting your writing goals for the new year so far. How's that coming along?
It's actually super cool because it's easy. It's like one of the easiest resolutions I've ever undertaken. The reason I want to do the whole writing thing is because I love it so much. So to me, taking a resolution of writing every day, like in November, I did the whole National Novel Writing Month thing where you're basically challenged to write 50,000 words in a month. It boils down to about 1,666 words every day. And I did it this year, and it barely influenced my schedule. It felt super easy. So I figured, you know what? I'm going to get my my ducks in a row, and for next year, I'm just going to do that every day. And it's been a blast. I've been able to go back to other projects that I want to finish and set some goals, as in have at least a couple of books done by the end of the year. I have some deadlines to meet though, so obviously I have to schedule properly, but also like add a couple of short stories and do things I can. Because one of the things like that I've noticed, I went to a. Sorry, I'm tangenting
That's
here.
fine.
Tell me when it gets
It's
really.
what we
boring.
do.
I went to this convention recently, an actual science fiction and fantasy writers convention in Ontario over the weekend. And I went there, and one of the things I realized is that even though I currently have 2 fully written books, and I'm working on a third and a fourth, I was out of material to present potential publishers and readers. I have 1 book that's in production that's going to be published on March 1st. I have another one that I'm trying to fund on Inkshare that's going okay, and if it doesn't work, that was the book, the manuscript I was showing publishers at that convention. But if that book gets picked up or that book ends up being funded, I'm out of material. I don't have anything else to show publishers and to promote. I don't have short stories to send to websites or anything like that. And it made me realize that wanting to be a writer and having a book is all well and good, but it's also not, I would say, it's not career positive in the sense that it's basically like saying, "Oh, I want to be a musician. I got a song." That's not sufficient. So being able to, it's uplifting to have this 1,500 word goal every day, not just because it forces me to do something that I find fun anyways, but it also will allow me to build some material that I can have ready to shop around and to promote and to serve. Like the short stories, I've got them separated between, like, I need some short stories to promote the books that are coming out, the books that are funding, and have some other things I can send to some websites or magazines to try to get published.
Cool. So what does 1,500 words equate to?
1,500 words is about a smallish chapter in a book.
Okay. So that's about a chapter a day, roughly.
Yeah, something like that, like a tiny chapter. Like I've written larger chapters, and it really depends on how you subdivide your chapters. But 1,500 words actually is about it's about 6 pages worth of a novel.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that's not bad at all. In fact, that would be impossible for me. So, props.
Physically.
Well, you got to look at it this way, though. I mean, when I say I'm writing, I'm not writing and self-editing at the same time. The idea is that I'm writing. I'm either going to be writing from scratch 1,500 words, or I'll be rewriting 1,500 words as part of an editing process. Like basically, I need to work on 1,500 words a day. But usually, when I'm just writing, like doing a first draft, it's garbage that needs to be fixed. It's really just rough outlines.
Makes sense. Actually, who is that? Random 111103. Thanks for the follow. Glad you enjoy the show. If you want to participate in our chat room, as opposed to the Twitch chat, you can go to inkedgeekstudios.com/live, and the embedded chat room there is where you can communicate with us. But again, thanks for the follow. No, Jay, yeah, that sounds really cool. Do you find yourself ever like, is that 1,500 words so important to where you're like, oh, I'm like 300 away? And like, does it ever become just kind of fluff content? Like, do you find it hard to come up with 1,500 words worth of stuff to write every day?
No, and maybe I'm just lucky with that. Is because the way I write is I'll be when I'm doing like normal activities during the day. Let's say I'm taking a walk or I'm shopping or whatever. Whenever I'm doing something where I can let my mind wander, I'll sort of come up with whatever ideas I want to work on writing wise. And I've already got a ton of notes. So usually when I'm writing a book, I already have an outline. I already kind of have a plan of where I'm going. So when I sit down to write, I usually the 1,500 words being a chapter is not exactly just a coincidence. It's something that I use a bit as a template, and it's flexible. So when I sit down to write, I look at, okay, well, what do I want to write? What section of the book am I at? And I'll just pick that section and I'll just write for that section. So I already have a game plan of what I'm going to be doing.
Oh, okay.
So it's not like I'm scratching my head going, well, what's this character going to do? And actually one of the most interesting things, one of the most thrilling moments of being a writer, to me at least, is when I'm writing something and for some reason or other, the characters or the plot takes a left turn and goes in a direction that I hadn't initially anticipated. I mean, it messes up my plan, but it's more fun because it's unpredictable.
Right. Makes sense. Well, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, I'm still, we talked when you were on Mind of a Geek, crashed almost a month ago now. I know, it's crazy. Yeah, because episode 4 records tomorrow night with Miss Frost. So
my co-host from The Overcast.
Indeed. We got to talk about that a little bit before you go. But so I'm definitely excited for Life Engineered, and I'm hoping God in the Shed gets funded or picked up, one or the other, because I'm excited to read that one too. So.
I have a gut feeling you'll like God in the Shed more than you'll like Life Engineered. Not that I think you won't like the Life Engineered, but I think you're more of a fantasy guy.
Yes, I definitely am.
Right. I think you'll enjoy the God in the Shed because of the horror fantasy elements in there.
Cool. Yeah, I live in my own fantasies quite regularly, so.
Same here. That's why I decided to like put some on paper.
Fair enough. I'd get arrested if I put mine on paper.
Got it.
But anyway, Overcast. It's the podcast you do, but we can talk about that a little bit if you want, so Amy doesn't kill you. But let's talk about Overwatch.
I have instructions to at least.
Oh, you do? Okay, so I don't have to remind you this time.
Oh no! I would have forgotten if you hadn't brought it up because I would have gotten crap for it.
Okay,
too.
Amy, you're welcome. So, don't forget, you got to write some questions in to harass her tomorrow, like she did to you.
Oh yeah, I do. I have to do something like that. I don't know what I'll come up with though.
But
I'll figure out something.
We're in January. It's January 3rd. We are supposedly getting Overwatch back this month at some point in time.
Not soon enough, in my opinion.
Yeah, the beta. Oh yeah, you never had beta access. The beta went down. The beta went down like mid-December. And
December 10th, I remember it. It was a meal ago. Yeah. It was a dark day. Clouds were forming over the horizon, and there was much depression across the land. Tears rolled down my eyes as I looked down the prospect of over a month without Overwatch, without being able to hear Tracer's dulcet tones saying, "Cavalry's here."
Can you tell he's an author? Here's part of the 1,500
so
words.
Much.
I know. I only had it for a weekend because I never had beta access. So I had it for that opening weekend, that open beta weekend thing.
It is my greatest wish that when it comes back, they give both of you full beta access because it is such a good game.
It is so good.
I played it at BlizzCon and it was just a lovely thing. It was so great.
And
it felt like TF2 with every other first-person shooter just fucked all together into one nice mesh, and it just fit so good.
It's the love child result of a FPS orgy.
Yes.
Oh no! See, it's as if there was an FPS orgy, and it was like, and then they had, this is getting a bit boring, and they invited MOBAs over, and it just got wild.
Fair enough.
It got crazy and really slippery. It was amazing.
Really slippery.
But yeah, and Corey, it's a lot more fluid and responsive than it was than the the version we played back in BlizzCon of 14.
God, it felt great then.
Yeah, and it feels even better. The new characters are awesome. The switching in the middle of the matches is a lot of fun. Healing in that game is so much fun.
Well, that's good.
But
I mean, that it's a key aspect of the game, and nobody
Right.
ever likes healing. So
no, and it's fun. And I'm really excited to get Tracer in Heroes of the Storm too, because she's going to be a blast in Heroes of the Storm.
So curious to see how they're going to translate that.
Yeah, it'll be because she can just rewind herself the same way that she does in Overwatch. So
Right.
yeah, so supposedly
I wonder if she's going to be just as fragile as she is in Overwatch.
Oh, probably. According to Blizzard, we're getting it back this month, and I would assume getting it back also includes a hey, it's back. By the way, this many more people have invites. So
And we're
Beautiful
probably going to have some new features and some new things to look at.
yeah, supposedly they're working on the progression system.
Progression system, not ladder, but the matching system they're supposed to look at it. And actually, we talked about the progression system, I think, in our previous episode of Overcast, the one that's already out. The one that we recorded today is going to talk a bit about an article from where Jeff Kaplan discusses not progression, but the matchmaking and ranking systems, and the fact that they may not have ranking ready for launch.
Yeah,
But they'd rather not have it at launch, but once they do add it, that it's going to be like perfect and awesome. And I'm not sure I agree with him on that. I'd rather have a bare bones ranking system, kind of like they had with Hearthstone when it came out, and then they can add to it later as things evolve.
yeah, and I mean, like, what kind of ranking system do you necessarily need? It doesn't need to be that crazy.
Hey, really quick, just because I'm being asked, what is the Twitter handle for your Overcast? Is it
I'm
Overcast?
going to check real
Because
quick
I know there was that shit that just happened recently that Amy posted about where somebody else also started a show with the same name. So
I don't know if I call it shit. I mean, obviously the guys didn't do their due diligence
right.
regarding like checking if there was already a podcast with that name, and that's
Considering
fine.
there's already a podcast app with that name.
Yeah, I mean, our choice of name is already kind of dubious, bordering on stupid.
Right.
But at the same time, like, we don't care. We're doing this podcast mostly for ourselves.
It's one of those right. It's one of those names though where I don't think I've heard like a really good name coming out of a podcast for that. I mean, you've got Overcast, which works other than the fact that it's a podcast app. But even like Garrett and Patrick, and Garrett is usually really good at naming his podcast, and it's the Overwatchers. And they just took the name of the game and add an ES. And add errors. Yeah. So, I mean, but again, with the game like the Overwatch or Overwatch, not the Overwatch, I'm not 80 years old. There's only so much. If you want to include the name of the game and the name of the podcast, there's only so much you can do.
I think part of the problem is that, unlike, say, The Instance, which came out after the game had at least gone to alpha and beta, we and a lot of people started, like Garrett and Patrick Beja we all started our podcasts before we had any like really concrete hands-on experience with the game. So we couldn't like take a key feature or a popular aspect of the game and use that for the name because we didn't know what we were talking about.
By the way, I found it for you. It's the underscore.
It's the undercast. Sorry, the underscore overcast.
The overscore undercast.
I am going to get so much shit from Amy for not remembering that off the top of my head.
No, considering I have like 8 that I have to remember, you have no excuse.
I don't, but I have terrible memories. Look, it took me half the show to remember Corey's name, so.
Oh, that's all right.
I'm sorry, dude.
It's not just
no, it's fine.
It's not
okay.
just
Look,
right under his
morning
picture
I
on
have to-
Skype.
Every morning I check my driver's license and go, oh, so that's who I am.
Jean-Francois Dubier.
Terrible name. What were they
Dear
thinking?
Burr. Or as I call him, the American version of his name is John Frank Dubstep.
Yeah, it's never been done before.
But anyway.
So yeah, this week on the Overcast, we actually I went back to True Form and just ranted like a maniac against an LA Times article that talks about Overwatch, because it is the worst. It's so bad.
If it's not a gamer writing it, then they can it.
There's no way it's a writer that's a gamer that wrote it, because they refer to Torbjorn as a dwarven blacksmith that makes hammers.
Doesn't he make turrets?
No, let that sink in. He's not even a dwarf. This is not a fantasy setting. There's
Right,
no
he's just a
dwarves,
fat
there's
dude with a big
elves,
beard.
There's no orcs.
I mean, to be fair, he kind of looks like a dwarf.
No, he does. He looks like a dwarf, but he's just a short dude with a beard, and he doesn't make hammers.
So
why would he make hammers? It's a game with people with guns. What would he do with hammers?
I don't
know.
Who
and
knows?
they talk about like, oh, the game's in beta and there's millions of beta testers. I'm not exaggerating. They use the term millions, plural. And like, no, there's dozens of beta testers.
Fair enough. Well,
it's a terrible article.
I am gonna downshift a little bit here because we're coming up on our hour on Alpha Geek. So JF, if any of our listeners want to hear more of this Overwatch talk, where can they find you in your show?
Well, they can find us on iTunes at the Overwatch, or they can obviously go to Twitter, and we're at the underscore Overcast. And let me just find our website. If you go to overcastpodcast.com, that's our website. We don't use it much, and you can also find us on the Facebooks.
Very cool.
Face.
Very cool. I love how like the first half of this podcast was me and Corey, and the second half was like me and JF.
No, it's fine.
No, it's all good. It's part of what guests are for. If
you want someone who's experienced in giving the contact info for the Overcast, wait till you talk to Amy tomorrow, because she's been doing 45 episodes of yammering that contact info. And
what I'm going to do tomorrow night is I'm just going to have Amy record a bumper that promotes all of your stuff. So whenever I have you as a guest on the show, I can just say, JF, where can people find you? And play the bumper.
It'll sound so much better, too.
And your voice will get a little bit higher.
Yeah.
Corey, where are you streaming at these days? Where can we watch you play video games?
I'm at Audio King for streaming on Twitch. I do that pretty regularly now.
Cool. Playing a lot of Ark lately. We're having a blast.
Oh my God, so much Ark.
Yeah, indeed, it's so much fun. Really quick.
What is Ark?
It is Ark. It's Ark Survival Evolved. Think Minecraft with good graphics mixed with Turok. Yeah, you start off with nothing, similar to Minecraft. You punch trees to get thatch. You start with your bare bones Stone Age type weapons, and then you get to the point where you have electrical generators, metal walls, and automatic turrets. And you can tame dinosaurs. You can fight dinosaurs with other dinosaurs and have massive PvP battles. It's currently on PC, which is the best way to play it. It is a little bit of a power hog, though, because it's beautiful. It's also available on Xbox One.
In beta, you can't do much.
Well, they're both in beta. They're both early access. The game doesn't officially launch till June.
So you can't even like stream or anything.
Yeah,
with it on
it's because it looks like crap on Xbox, which isn't their fault. It's the console's fault. But it's fully moddable. We use a modded map called Valhalla, which is like 3 or 4 times larger than the basic map. But it looks a lot of fun. The dinosaurs are real. You use trank arrows and knock them out, and then you tame them, and then they become your pets, and you can fight with them and harvest with them. And they have these giant, like Jurassic Park looking gates, so you can make your own bases, and it's a lot of fun.
You have me intrigued.
It's a survival game, so if you like things like Minecraft and Rust and stuff like that, you'll very much like this. If you find those games boring, you'll find this boring.
Okay, I'll see if I can find time, and if I can carve something out of my schedule, maybe I'll try it out.
Cool, we'll check it
We
out.
have a server.
We do indeed.
Play with us.
If you are a fan of Minecraft, specifically Feed the Beast Infinity Evolved, or if you are a fan of Rust, or if you are a fan of Ark, go on over to inkedgeekstudios.com/inkedgeekgaming. You can also go to tiny.cc/iggaming, and that will bring you to that site. A list of all of our servers as well as our TeamSpeak server is there. Come on, have fun, enjoy. For the Minecraft server, you have to go to feedthebeast.com and download the client and get it installed. For Rust and for Ark, the game is nice enough to download the mods for you when you come on. So come on, join us and have a good time. We have a lot of fun.
Uh-huh.
Rust is a little slow because there's lots of Rust servers. Our Arc server has, I'd say we have a fairly steady population right now of about 10 to 12 people. So it's a lot of fun, and it's growing a little bit every day. Just saw some new people come on this morning before I hopped on here, or this afternoon, I guess.
Probably want
But
to
yeah.
play right after this, just to let you know.
So again, Corey, you can catch his streaming stuff at twitch.tv/AudioKing. You can catch my streaming. Let's see. I remember everything. I just stumble over my words. You can catch all of my streaming stuff at twitch.tv/xcynekx. That's XSYNEKX. You can follow the show at twitch.tv/InkedGeekStudios. If you want to join in our live show and check out and join us in our chat room, you can go to inkedgeekstudios.com/live. You can follow the show on Twitter at IG_Geek Access. You can follow the studio at iGeekStudios. And I think that's it. If you have comments, suggestions, you can email us at inkedgeekstudios.com. Put Geek Access in the subject line. If you're listening to us on iTunes, we would appreciate 5-star reviews. Even if you didn't like the show, just put a 5-star review and never listen again.
Just do it anyway.
Just do it and never listen again. If you love the show and you want more people to hear us mindlessly gab for an hour, 5-star review.
Hey, Nate, did I give my website address?
I don't think you gave your personal stuff. Do you remember it, or do you want me to do it for you?
Can you?
jfdubo.com.
There you go. Thank you. No, it's because I have books for pre-order there.
Yeah,
so
pitch your book stuff. Really quick. I don't want Todd to kick me off Alpha Geek. Really quick.
Really quick. Like I have 2 books. I have one coming out on March 1st. That's a science fiction books about robots. It's called The Life Engineered, and you can pre-order it. You don't need to go to my website for that one. You can go to Barnes and Nobles and Amazon or whatever. It's available everywhere. And I have another book that's funding on Inkshares, which is called A God in the Shed. It's a fantasy horror book, and it's basically Stand By Me meets Call of Cthulhu with a bit of Harry Potter, and you can pre-order that on Inkshares, but an easier link is to go to jfdubeau.com/books. That's jfdubeau.com/books.
And if you want to hear more about his books, be sure to check out episode 1 of Mind of a Geek, where we went into quite a bit of detail about both of those books. So be sure to check that out, as well as listen to Mind of a Geek, because it's a great show. I had JF on week 1. We had Abby Wessels, who was a very fun and entertaining guest week 2. And Garrett Weinzierl from The Angry Chicken and Into the Nexus was joined me last Monday. This coming Monday, I guess tomorrow would be the more common way to say that, Amy Frost, JF's co-host from the Overcast, as well as the owner and founder of Denoria Cosplay. Is that how she says it? Denoria?
Danoria.
Danoria.
Damn, you've
I shouldn't ask you because you say beta and pasta, and why am I asking you how to say it
I
properly?
do not say these things. I'm not French from France.
The Overwatch beta.
I say beta.
Beta.
Like the
it's
fish.
beta. Like the fish. It's a beta fish.
Accents.
Anyway, yeah, if you like what we do here at Geek Studios and you enjoy it and you want to help support what we do, please go to patreon.com/IG Studios. $1 a month, a quarter a month. It doesn't matter. Whatever you want to do. Everything helps. Every little bit helps the show grow. Once we reach that $100 goal, we will start with monthly giveaways with some cool shit for you guys. So I don't know if there a big thanks to our current patrons. And I think that's it. I'm all jumbled up. It's been almost a month since we did a show, and I don't have my script in front of me, so I'm just kind of winging it right now. I think that's going to do it. Is that it? Do you guys have anything else to say?
You're okay.
All right,
Oh,
cool.
I got that vault crate finally. From
Oh.
the crate.
Nice. Didn't you get that before, the Vault Crate?
I don't remember.
I think you showed that to us
It's been
already.
so long.
I know. I
Did I
think
show you?
I think we talked about that.
It
Yeah.
came with sweaters, dog meat plushies.
Yeah, you showed us.
toasters.
That was kind of like how
Okay.
I talked to Brandon about something, and he was like, "Didn't we talk about this last week?" It all blends together. I was gonna say, oh yeah, a big thank you to Gnomewise, Mr. Todd Whitehead over at Alpha Geek Radio for hosting this show on Alpha Geek. We appreciate that. A big thank you to Mr. Dustin Bayette for our musical intro. And I think that covers everybody, right? If not, then F y'all.
F y'all. Brandon was.
Oh
here.
yeah,
He's
and
included in the
Brandon.
show, I guess.
No, yeah, we didn't miss much. JF, you want to do the show from now on?
I don't know if I have time. I mean, I'd be glad to come on once in a while.
It's all good. I'm harassing, but he won't listen anyway. He doesn't even listen to his own show when he's not here. For JF Dubo, for Corey, and for myself, thank you guys so much for listening. Again, Happy New Year, and we will talk to you Hopefully next week. There's always an asterisk there somewhere, right? I think,
Yeah.
kind of, sort of. All right, cool. Good night, everybody. Did that just cut out?
It did.
Yep.
Did it? Oh.
Wow, failure.
Ah,
Do it again. Do it again.
there we go. My soundboard stopped working for a second.
Oh, bye.
Wait a second.
I love how Corey.
Live streaming of this show available via Roku streaming devices, Apple TV, smart TVs, Amazon Echo, and many other devices. Visit tunein.alphageekradio.com to learn how to listen and watch live.
That guy's voice, though.
Yeah. Oh,
Every time.
Scott Fletcher. Scott Fletcher's awesome.
Yeah, he's got.
He is such a cool guy too. I don't know if you've heard the story, Nathan. When I went to Nerdtacular last summer, I got my room right next to Amy's room. And so it was Amy and April Ness and me and Peter D. Fisher, 2 rooms with a connecting door.
Nice.
So we had parties, and the last night of Nerdtacular, we had a bunch of people in Amy's room and a bunch of drinks. And at some point, Scott Fletcher just